All right, so we are here with the Woodland Police Department right now, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what we know so far. So what information do we have at this point?
So at about 10:04 a.m. our dispatch received a phone call that said, "What's up?" and some type of expletive. Almost immediately after that, we received an additional phone call where the male voice said, the school's locked down, there's been a shooting. We responded immediately to Woodland High School. The school was placed on lockdown at that point. We had search teams establish searches throughout the perimeter, made sure that the perimeter was safe while the students were locked down in their classrooms. And at this point right now, what we're doing is we're doing a classroom by classroom search. And as we do that search, we are then releasing those students that were in those classrooms, and they'll be taken over to the rally point for their parents in the reunification area over at Christensen Park. So it's all very meticulous room by room search that's going on right now.
Okay, and have we had any information about anything actually being found at this point?
We do not. We don't have any evidence that there has been a shooting. We don't have any injuries. We don't have any suspects in custody. There have been, I've seen reports, people saying stuff that none of those reports are true. There have not been any injuries, and again, we do not have anybody in custody, and we have not seen any evidence that there has in fact been a shooting. Okay.
Now, obviously a lot of these parents are standing by really worried about their children. Is there a reason that their arrival's being delayed right at this point?
Just because of the nature of the search that we have to do. When students are locked down in place, we go after the perimeter search, we will go classroom by classroom, and that's just to establish that we are making sure and searching every single area of the school to make sure that there is no threat to their safety or anybody else's in the area.
Okay, and a lot of them are just wondering, they for sure will be released today, correct?
Oh yes, we have students that actually are currently being bused over to the reunification area as we speak.
And when I was over there, a lot of them were asking why they weren't getting texts or getting calls from their kids. Is there any reason for that?
That I don't know. I know that we've been trying to post updates as much as possible on our Facebook. We have sent out citywide notifications through the Everbridge system, and we're trying to keep everybody as notified as possible. I don't know why they wouldn't be receiving texts from their children. That information is not available to me right now.
Okay. One more question in terms of the call that you received. Were there multiple calls? Because I have heard that from some parents, and I'm just trying to clarify that.
We received the two phone calls that I spoke of. The one where it was some expletive, and then the second one where they said that they were being locked down because there was a shooting. Those are the only two calls that I have been notified of. Those are the only ones that I'm aware of.
And are there any students being detained?
We did detain a student that was found outside of the area that was non-compliant. He has since been released, and it was deemed that he had nothing to do with an actual shooting. He was just not following the lockdown procedure at the time.
Okay. And is there any timeline on when the students are going to be back with their parents?
We're hoping within the next hour. I know that probably about 30 minutes ago, I was notified that we were about halfway through the search, and they were expecting the search to take about an hour from there. So we're probably at that 30-minute point right now. That's not for sure, but like I said, we are currently taking students over to the reunification area right now.
Okay, and just because some people are joining us right now, can you re-explain what we know at this point in time?
All that we know at this point is that we did receive a phone call with a male voice on the other end of the line stating that they were being locked down and that it was because there was a shooting. Again, we have searched the perimeter of the area. We've been on scene for a couple of hours now. At this point, we don't have any evidence of a shooting, we don't have any injuries, and we don't have anybody in custody that we think is related to a shooting.
You mentioned two calls. Were there any calls before or after those from anyone else at the school, students or staff?
Not that I've been notified of. I know that our search teams have been in active conversation with school administration, and they are helping coordinate all of our efforts as well.
Okay. All right. I think that's all my questions at this point in time.
Thank you.